Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vina Dewi. Here I want to compare and contrast my life as a high school student and as a university student. Now, I am a university student studying at Brawijaya University and majoring in English language education. I have been studying here since last year. Before being a university student here, I spent my high school years at a vocational high school in Jember City. The name is SMKN 7 Jember. I majored in computer and network engineering. In fact, compared to the similarities, there is more difference between my life as a high school student and as a university student. If I have to mention the similarities between the two, I will talk about the assignments that have to be done in groups, student orientation period, organization, and of course homework. Both in high school and university, I have assignments to do in groups. Then, I also underwent a student orientation period. It's just a different name. In my college, Brawijaya University, it is called PKK Maba, while in my vocational high school, the name is MOS. Next is the organization. Whether as a university student or high school student, I both joined an organization. It's just different types and names. And the last one might be an assignments or homework. Although both do the tasks that are usually done at home, the assignments for university students are much more complicated. The deadlines for high school are usually until the next meeting. Meanwhile, for university students, the assignments that are given usually for several courses have to be submitted with the last deadline on the same day at midnight, or some give several day deadlines for submissions. I had a good time studying when I was a high school student. It is because I have a habit that I used to do when I was in high school. That was studying with the system overnight for exams, doing homework at school, and going to the canteen during class hours. Now as a university student, I can't do that anymore. But if I talk about the course schedule, it is more flexible as a university student because I set it myself. Meanwhile, when I was a high school student, my schedule was determined by the school. And then the duration of learning when I am a university student is less than when I was a high school student. The clearest difference between a high school student and a university student is that a university student is not required to wear a uniform while attending a class, whereas a high school student is obliged. Next, about my classmate. I have had the same classmate for 3 years studying in high school. But as a university student, I have friends who vary depending on the courses I take. When I was a high school student, I studied engineering to assemble computers and build internet networks. Because I went to a vocational school, I practiced more than learning theories. When I had to do a practicum, I had to wear a practicum uniform to enter the practicum lab. Otherwise, I wouldn't be allowed into it. It's different from now when I am a university student majoring in English language education. I learned many theories about grammar as well as some fundamental skills in English such as speaking, reading, listening, and writing. In this department, I also do a practicum. However, this practicum is not like my major in high school because the English language education major is not an engineering major, so I'm not obliged to wear a uniform and go into the practicum lab. When I was a high school student, I could enjoy life by not thinking too much about the burden of responsibility and what happened later. However, when I am a university student, I have to be mature and always think about all the consequences for what I will do for my future. I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.